Ladies and gentlemen, this is an article that came out in government executive agencies are cracking down on employee opioid use, both legal and illegal. Wow. At least one agency is testing the fitness of employees with legal opioid prescriptions. Several agencies in the Homeland Security Department are instituting new policies to oversee their employees' use of opioids, even when it comes in the form of a legal prescription. Generally speaking, employees of Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, Transportation Security Administration, and Secret Service are rarely caught using opioids illegally. More than 100,000 random drug tests of employees are at those components between 2015 and 2018. Just 31 returned positive. Wow. And they worked in one of those agencies. So 31 returned positive results, according to a report from DHS Inspector General. The agencies took appropriate disciplinary action in each case, as most were fired or resigned before they could be. The results do not paint the full picture, however, as the IG noted, that medical review officers at laboratories that handle drug tests do not report positive test results to agencies if workers can document a prescription or other valid medical explanation for the positive result. The policy is now starting to change. ICE has started requiring labs to notify them when the positive result stems from a legal prescription and per the IG's recommendation. Secret Service is looking to move in on a similar direction by early next year. TSA, meanwhile, is requiring employees with legal opioid prescriptions to take a fitness for duty test. All of the agencies have implemented or are in the process of implementing such evaluations. The policies will enable the components to ensure their workforces are capable of effectively performing their duties, the IG says, while providing consistent standards that allow employees to use legally prescribed prescriptions. All but CBP have penalties in place for employees who are impaired on the job due to legally prescribed opioids, and CPB said it is updating its policy on that front. ICE, TSA, and Secret Service have taken steps to clarify expectations that prescription drug use affecting employees who work performance will not be tolerated. Agencies are navigating difficult terrain, the IG said, as they must balance the rights of employees to use legally prescribed opioids with their obligation to ensure their workforce is alert, responsible, and effective. The number of employees testing positive for illicit opioids, meaning they had no prescription, increased sharply in 2018. Now, can you imagine that you have to go to an airport and be confronted by a TSA agent that might be strung out on opioids? So they're saying the illicit opioids increased sharply in 2018. Okay, though it remained a tiny fraction of DHS workforce, 0 employees saw positive results in fiscal 2015, but in a similar number of tests performed in fiscal 2018, 18 employees test positive for illicit opioid use. Earlier this year, the Labor Department said federal employees receiving workers' compensation will be limited to opioid prescriptions in 7-day increments, up to 28 days. Under the new policy, all subsequent opioid prescriptions must come with a letter of medical need, which would authorize 2 additional 30-day supply of the painkiller. The policy still only applies to new patients with acute issues, not those with chronic conditions. The U.S. Postal Service has particularly struggled to reduce the use of opioids among its employees receiving workers' compensation. So they are cracking down. And they said, if they catch you, you're gone. That's what they're really saying. And from what I'm reading, they're not even happy that they are taking prescribed opioids on the job. But I can understand. I mean, this is a huge problem in the country, and it does not seem to be subsiding too much. It is very strong. And now you got meth that's rising. I wonder if they test for all drugs or do they primarily focus on opioids? I'm just curious because they didn't talk about any other drug testing that they have to go through because we know there's heroin, opioids, fentanyl, and meth is another epidemic out here. Oh, well, but what do y'all think about these agency employees that work for the government? Now, better be careful when they use opioids and they have to be on the job. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.